Nothing can hold me back. Nothing can hold me back. You know, like I said, I step back, regroup, get a new team, and came back.
I have 4 arms.
I know. I know.
And 6 eyes to be Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
Wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff.
Why is Terence Bud Crawford greater than Floyd Mayweather? Or better than Floyd Mayweather? Greater is a little bit different. Greater is impact, resume, all that shit, but better. Terence Bud Crawford, after what he did last night, is better than Floyd Mayweather because there is no way Floyd Mayweather would attempt to do that crazy shit. See, that's the insane Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler after being golfers.
Crawford is amazing, not just good. He's amazing, and
he said the same thing about you.
Thank you, Terence. But I think he should be in the book for
really? Is that good?
How to learn boxing, you know?
Really?
For me, pound for pound, number 1 is Terence Crawford. I like this man. It's a great fighter.
I think it's Crawford.
That type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd. Nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, I'll beat his ass. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
Like plot.
I ain't never been that type of person.
Because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, then I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Oh, yes.
That makes a difference.
Who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather, prime for prime?
Crawford.
Really? Why?
Because Crawford is a unique kind of fighter that other fighters haven't seen. And the ability that he has to switch, fighters aren't used to that. They don't train for that. I just think Crawford is a very, very unique.
That's a completely different fight, all right? Because Spence has been given to believe that he's every bit as good an offensive fighter as Terence Crawford or anybody else that he's going to be in with. So he learned something different Saturday night. But Floyd Mayweather never disabused himself of the understanding that he was a more of a backup counterpuncher than a go-forward counterpuncher, regardless of what he did to Diego Corrales, and that's a different kind of approach and effect than what Crawford achieved the other night. So that a Floyd Mayweather beatdown or one-sided win was much more of a paint job than what Crawford.
The debate over greatness in boxing is never short of fireworks, but the storm around Terence Bud Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather has taken on a life of its own. Crawford's emphatic victory over Canelo Alvarez reignited the question, has Bud surpassed Floyd? And when Mayweather bristled at Crawford's claim of being the better fighter, the entire sport split in two. Heavy hitters like Dmitry Bivol, Alexander Usyk, and Artur Beterbiev didn't hesitate to plant their flags. They praised Crawford's adaptability, composure, and ability to dominate across multiple weight classes. For me, pound for pound number 1 is Terence Crawford, one champion said. I like this man. It's a great fighter. When active champions at the top of their division speak that openly, you know the conversation has crossed into rarefied air. Crawford himself made it clear he's never viewed Mayweather as an enemy. I've always been happy for him, been a fan of his. Never that type of guy, Bud explained. But when asked who would win in a prime versus prime showdown, he didn't blink. Me. No questions. Max Kellerman laid out the contrast with surgical precision. Floyd's resume, stacked with marquee names, is deeper on paper. His defense and speed were unmatched, but Kellerman argued that once Mayweather left lightweight, he was selective, often timing fights to his advantage. Crawford, he countered, takes on whoever's in front of him, whenever the fight is there to be made. That willingness to walk into danger, Kellerman suggested, is its own brand of greatness. Bob Arum agreed, calling Crawford a unique talent whose ability to switch stances and adapt mid-fight would trouble anyone, even Floyd.
Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. Oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he gonna reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that back hand. The way he reaches with...
To start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather, how do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd.
Wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah.
Take Floyd Mayweather in his absolute prime, and I take Manny Pacquiao in his absolute prime.
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd still beats him.
Floyd beat everybody.
You don't believe there's a guy at 140, 147 in the history of boxing that could have beat Floyd in his prime?
It'd be tough. Floyd, man, that boy, man, that's the GOAT, man. That boy bad.
What makes it, I mean, what, because, and I told people this, I said, look at Floyd. I said, Floyd, it's not that he trains, I mean, it's his life. And from the very beginning, he's like.
And compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. You know, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of...
Jim Lampley painted the contrast in color. Mayweather's brilliance was like a paint job, precise, controlled, suffocating, while Crawford fights with destructive intent, breaking opponents down piece by piece. Tim Bradley dispensed with nuance altogether. Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather, pointing to Floyd's past struggles with southpaws as a fatal flaw against Bud. Yet even Crawford shows deference when speaking on Mayweather's legacy. Floyd was the greatest in his era. "I'm the greatest in my era," he said, emphasizing there's no need for rivalry. He even tipped his hat to Floyd over Pacquiao, saying Floyd's work ethic and consistency would have carried him in their primes. The fighters who've shared the ring with both offered their own verdicts. Canelo Alvarez shocked many when he said, "No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather."
Long arms, and because it's bigger, you know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Terence "Bud" Crawford, greater than Floyd Mayweather, or better than Floyd Mayweather. Greater is a little bit different. Greater is impact, resume, all that shit, but better. Terence "Bud" Crawford, after what he did last night, is better than Floyd Mayweather because there is no way Floyd Mayweather would attempt to do that crazy shit. See, that's the insane Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler after being gone for 5 years.
Oh, it's a close fight. You know, it's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, because I'm not going to just lie and just say nothing, like, and make up something just to, I got my opinion on, you know, how the fights would go and, you know, but I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. And unfortunately, they didn't fight. They could have made kind of two different eras though. Even though they was fighting at the same time, Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC, and Bud's a lot young, about 10 years younger than him. So it didn't happen, and we got to just.
Also, if we remember, Canelo that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw, and then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
yeah, what was Canelo? What, 21, 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd, and I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
yes,
fight.
Yes, sir. I love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah, he's a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in that
sense
is
crazy. The funny thing about
crazy.
it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody else? Yeah.
There's an OG somewhere.
Somebody gotta pioneer it, right? Yeah, you gotta.
There's an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere, and I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out.
Shane Mosley echoed the sentiment, citing Crawford's size and reach as natural advantages. But others, like Sean Porter, leaned back toward Mayweather, calling him the ultimate chess master, a fighter whose brain outmaneuvered every opponent. Showbiz the Adult captured the heart of the matter. Floyd may still hold the stronger resume and cultural impact, but Crawford might just be the better fighter when you strip it down to skill. And that's the crux. It isn't really about deciding who wins in a mythical matchup. It's about recognizing what each man represents. Mayweather perfected the art of protecting his zero while becoming the sport's greatest businessman. Crawford thrives on risk, walking into challenges most fighters avoid, and coming out flawless. Two philosophies, two eras, and one debate destined to rage on as long as fans argue over what greatness really means.